Hi, this is Ian from ESLinsider.com. Money. I think this is something that a lot of people want to know. How much money can you make teaching English in Asia? I've taught English in China, Korea, and Taiwan. And I've also looked into Japan quite a bit and applied for a bunch of jobs there and just checked it out and thought about moving there quite a bit. So I'm going to let you know a little bit about how much money you can make in these places. So Taiwan, first I'll tell you this. First I tell you that it's possible to make save $1,000 a month in all those places. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about details about each country a bit and the money there. So number one, I'd say Taiwan. Taiwan, I'd say the average wage is pretty much 600 NT an hour. 600 NT, I'd recommend checking, how much that is online. You go to xe.com or onda.com and get the currency exchange, because I'm not 100% sure at the moment. But 600 NT is the pretty much going rate. You know, if you teach adults, you might make a little bit less, and you can make more than that too. You know, I've known people that I taught a class on a Saturday. I made like 11 or 1200 an hour, which is almost twice that. And that's about 600 is about last I knew was close to $20 US dollars. So to do that, to make $1,000 a month, save $1,000 a month in Taiwan, probably means you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to get a couple part-time jobs. Get one job that gives you an ARC, and another job, maybe it's a kindergarten job in the morning. So you're getting paid by the hour. That's what you want, basically. I've had friends that have talked about making as much as 3,000 US dollars a month teaching in Taiwan. I mean, they had to work to get that. But anyway, so about 600 NT an hour. If you get a kindergarten job in the morning, for a couple hours, teaching a couple hours, and then you work in like a bushiban in the evening, teaching say 4 hours, 6 hours. That's a week. How many hours is that? 6 hours. About 30 hours a week. And if you're getting paid 600 NT an hour, 20 bucks an hour times that, you can figure it out. So you can make pretty good money and say that living expenses in Taiwan's not too high. I'd say it's a bit cheaper than Korea and definitely cheaper than Japan. So, but it depends. A lot depends on how you live, right? So it's up to you, a lot of it. And most schools, like if you get a job, to work in a public school in Taiwan, you need to be a certified teacher. So if you are a certified teacher, then you could make around 60,000 NT a month. If you're going to work in a bushiban, which is like a hagwon in Korea, it's like a private after-school program. I would say that would probably be tough for you to save $1,000 doing that a month. Those are usually around like 55,000 NT a month, something like that. So the way to do it is stack jobs, get a couple part-time jobs, and so you're getting paid by the hour. That's what you want to do in Taiwan. In Korea is probably the easiest place to save $1,000 a month, because the standards are more like universal. The more similar jobs are more similar. You get all these benefits. You get free housing in Taiwan. That's really rare to get free housing in Taiwan. So in Korea, pretty much everybody gets free housing unless you work in university. But even then, they'll give you a stipend, a monthly stipend. So you get free housing, free tickets. So it's easy to save $1,000 a month in Korea, I'd say. And you're gonna have to work most jobs. Hagwon's pretty much 30 hours, most of them. Might get lucky, find one working less than that. I have, so it's possible. So you'd be working about 30 hours a week to get that, or you work in a public school and you make you might work 40 hours a week, so you're there actually longer, but you're teaching a little bit less, maybe like 22 or something like that. So yeah, in Korea it's pretty easy. Average salary is 2.1 million won, 2.2 maybe. So, and you can make more than that. If you get a part-time job, that's like 30,000, pretty normal, but some of them might only pay 20,000 won. 20,000 won, maybe like 20 bucks, something like that. In China varies a lot. You could get a job in China and be making 4,000, 5,000 RMB a month, which isn't very much. Or you could get a job working in a private school or international school and making like 15 or 16 or possibly more than that, 1,000 RMB a month. So it's a little bit, so I'd say to make, again, it depends on your, what you need to live on and your expenses and all that. But I'd say if you have free housing, and it depends on what city you're living in too, right? So if you have free housing, you could save $1,000 in China if you're making, probably like 10,000 a month. But in China, if you work in a university, like university jobs in China are relatively easy to get. Not like it's more difficult to get a position like that in Korea, more difficult, even more difficult in China, that sort of thing. So in China, to get in a university jobs usually don't pay that much. I mean, you might get free housing and some benefits, but they're usually just 4,000 or 5,000 a month, and you might go all the way up to about 8,000 RMB a month. But you probably won't see much more than that in a university. So to make 10,000 a month, you're probably going to get this from a private institution, Yeah, and working by the hour, hourly jobs in China, somewhere between 100 would be on the low end, but 150 pretty normal, and 200 is on the higher end. So again, if you can get hourly positions, yeah, it's easier to do that. I think 10,000 RMB a month is close to about 1,500 bucks American dollars. Then you have free housing, you can live off 500 bucks a month for sure in China. In Japan I would say most jobs in Japan pay about 250,000 yen a month. That's pretty standard wage. Again, you can make more than that if you work in the JET program. You're going to make more than that. Again, I haven't taught in Japan, but I've done a fair amount of research on Japan. And if you're, Japan's got a really high cost of living, so that's pretty difficult, more difficult to do in Japan. So to do it in Japan, I'd say you probably have to be in a rural place, have low monthly expenses, working in the JET program, which, from what I understand, you can make quite a bit of money doing that. So, but if you're in the city, in Tokyo, I mean, the cost of living there is super high. You could be paying 1,000 bucks a month for rent, in Tokyo. So, yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on money, teaching money, or making money, teaching English in Asia. This is a painting I did circa 2000. It's called Residence Within